It began one afternoon at the veterinary office of John's friend, Liz.
Garfield passed his checkup and I could only find one thing wrong with him.
I'm just too adorable.
What is it, Liz?
I consulted this chart to determine the ideal weight of someone's height. It says he has to lose 5 pounds.
No, I don't. I could just grow 6 inches.
Okay. I'll stop feeding him lasagna until he loses weight.
That's not enough. I'm going to take more drastic action.
That was how it began. Later on, things got worse.
Here you go, guys. A freshly made Caesar salad. It's delicious.
Yeah. It doesn't have layers of pasta noodles.
So that was how dinner went that night. And the next night.
It's a fruit plate with peaches, pears, apples, and melon.
Yeah. But it doesn't have yummy, melted mozzarella and ricotta cheese.
And the next night.
It's baked tofu.
Yeah. But it doesn't have tasty tomato sauce and pieces of sausage. Also, it's tofu. It's not food.
Finally, the lack of lasagna had taken its toll.
I can't go on any longer. I must have lasagna. Must have lasagna. Must have lasagna. I'd even settle for the crummy microwave kind. Wait, 1 marinara covered minute. I'm forgetting something vital. Jon Arbuckle is not the lone source of lasagna on this planet. They serve lasagna down at Vito's Pizzeria. I hope they sell it by the trough.
It usually took John 10 minutes to drive to Vito's. That evening, on foot, Garfield made it in 4.
I'll have the beef lasagna, the sausage lasagna, the veggie lasagna, the chicken lasagna, and a side of lasagna. For my appetizer, I'll have lasagna. Oh. And the cream of lasagna soup. And for dessert.
Sorry, little pussygato. I am under strict orders from your veterinarian. No lasagna for you. Could I interest you in a nice salad?
I'm going to report them to whoever you report people to when they do things you don't like. But there are other restaurants that serve lasagna.
Indeed, there were. And everywhere he went, it was the same story.
Sorry, cat. I am not allowed to serve you lasagna.
This vet called and told us not to serve lasagna to an overweight orange cat.
No lasagna for you. This veterinarian cared and
I know.
No, you know what for you know who. And it brought him to a shocking decision.
Liz did this to me. She's called every place in town that serves lasagna and told them not to give me any. Life without lasagna is life without meaning. She leaves me with but one choice. I didn't want to do this, but she's driven me to it. I'm going to exercise.
Oh,
And it's all your fault. You forced me to do it. I hope you're happy when you see what you've done.
And with that note of horror in his voice, Garfield began a vigorous weight loss program. Take note of this, people. You may never see it again. Until finally, days later.
I did it, Odie. I did it. 5 pounds. Let's go show the new me to Liz and get her to lift the ban. Soon, at Liz's home. Knock knock.
Huh? Who could that be with a feeble, exhausted knock at my door? Garfield. What's wrong? You look so tired. Are you sick? You look like you've lost weight. How did you do that?
Doing something I didn't want to do.
You have. Can even pick you up now.
You always could. You just needed a forklift before.
Moments later.
That's right, Vito. It's okay to serve lasagna to Garfield again.
Oh, thank you, Dottore Wilson. This is such good news. Arrivederci. My ristorante. She is saved. I have my best customer back. We can eat again. I can get my mother's shoes back from the pawn shop. Hurrah!
Now, remember. You can eat lasagna again, but don't overdo it.
That's good advice. Come on, pup. I'm going to Vito's for lasagna. But I'm not going to overdo it.
yeah. Yeah.
I'd better call Jon and all the other Italian restaurants in town and tell them I'm lifting the Garfield lasagna ban.
Are you the vet? My precious little Flopsy seems to have a horrid case of hiccups.
Bring her in. I'll treat her right away.
Before long at Vito's.
You wait out here, pup. I'm going in to get a small, reasonable amount of lasagna. Got it. Let's go.
And soon, the Arbuckle dining table was filled.
Okay, Odie. We'll split it. I'll eat the lasagna and you lick the empty tins clean. That is, if I leave any crumbs in them.
Oh no! You are not getting any lasagna until you lose weight, and that's that.
Didn't Liz call you? I did lose weight. Look how svelte I am. No! Call Liz. She'll tell you the ban has been lifted.
You are coming back in this house until I get rid of all that lasagna.
No! No! So close to lasagna and yet so far.
Moan.
I don't want all this food to go to waste. Maybe I could donate it to several missions.
Let me in! Let me in! That's my lasagna! I charged it to your credit card myself.
Yum. It smells terrific. I just realized I haven't tasted lasagna in months. Whenever it's around, Garfield eats it all. Oh, I'd forgotten how good Vito's lasagna is. Delicious. I'll just eat one. Or maybe two. Or maybe 8.
Meanwhile, over at Liz's office.
Thank you, Dr. Wilson. Flopsy is cured of her hiccups. Of course, now I have them.
I have to call Jon and tell him about Garfield. I lost track of time. I'm due at Jon's for our date. I guess I can tell him when I get there.
She changed and hurried over to Jon's house, where she found this pitiful sight.
Please. My lasagna. Please.
What's wrong, Garfield? You can't get inside? Jon gave me a key.
One key turn later.
Jon? Jon, are you here?
If he's flushed my lasagna down the sewer, I'm going in after it.
Cautiously, they made their way inside. And then they found him.
Gasp.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Jon. How could you do such a thing?
Oh, but Vito's lasagna is so delicious.
Well, when the man's right, he's right.
Jon, you must have put on 5 pounds. You know what that means.
As it turned out, Jon did know what that meant. It meant this.
When can I stop?
You've only lost about a third of one lasagna. You have at least 17 and a third to go.
I've forgiven Jon for 2 reasons. 1, I understand why he did it. And 2, Vito's delivered another batch. My offer to lick the tin still stands. The end.